Welcome to Commander Citadel with me, your host, Elder Navarrete. In this here's episode, I bring you the top 10 strongest commanders from the up-and-coming set, Outlaws of Thunder Junction. So saddle up, partner. We're going to ride this pup into the sunset. Enjoy the show. Starting in 10th place, we have Taiwen Perfect Shots, a 2-drop, 2/3 human mercenary. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to a creature equal to that creature's toughness, draw a card. You can tap X in itself. If a source you control will deal non-combat damage to a permanent or player this turn, it deals that much damage plus X instead. She has great potential to cast one-sided board wipes accompanied by mass draw effects. Low drop cards such as End the Festivities and Tectonic Hazard are key to this deck. The average defense on a creature seen on the field is anywhere between 1 and 3. It doesn't take much mana from Tai's ability to obliterate your opponent's creatures. Thermal Alchemist and Kestic Flame Breather are scorching includes. Most cards in the deck, including the General, are low CNC, so you can get the engine up and running at full force by turn 3. Being in Boros colors prevents it from being higher on the list. Still, a great card. In 9th place, we have Laughing Jer Flint, a 3-drop in Rakdos, 4/3 Lizard Rogue. Creatures you control but don't own are mercenaries in addition to their other types. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top X cards of target opponent's library, where X is the number of outlaws you control. Until the end of turn, you may cast spells from among those cards, and mana of any type can be spent to cast those spells. You will find very few to 0 instances where the first ability helps out. The second ability is what the deck really relies on. Impulse draw X cards every turn for each outlaw is insane value. For those who don't know what an outlaw is any of the following creatures: assassin, mercenary, pirate, rogue, or warlock. There are several powerful low CMC creatures that fall under the outlaw type: Doughty Voidwalker, Opposition Agent, Ragavan, and Dockside. These are all powerful cards on their own, but with Jer Flint on the field, you get extra value from them. Bitter Blossom is also a great include because it generates a rogue every turn. I can see Jer Flint making some noise in casual and EDH games once people realize the value it holds. Taking 8th place, we have Kellen the Kid, a 3-drop green, white, blue, 3/3 human fairy rogue with flying and lifelink. Whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, you may cast a permanent spell with equal or less mana value from your hand without paying its mana cost. If you don't, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. There are multiple ways to cast cards from anywhere other than your hand. You have effects like Foretell, where you can exile a card from your hand for 2 generic mana to cast it from exile later for its Foretell cost. Other effects like Adventure, where you can cast it for its Adventure cost, exile it, and cast it later on from exile for its CMC. Other includes can be cards that let you cast cards from the top of your deck, like the Reality Chip. It doesn't stop there. You have other effects such as Flashback, Cascade, Discover. There are several directions you can go with this. Costing only 3 mana in Bent makes this card extremely powerful. And the 7th slot goes to Jissa the Hellraiser, a 5-drop mono black 4/4 human warlock with Ward 2, pay 2 life. Skeletons and zombies you control get +1/+1 and have menace. Whenever you commit a crime, create 2 tapped blue and black zombie rogue creature tokens. This ability only triggers once each turn. Targeting opponents, anything they control, and/or cards in their graveyard is a crime. I am a bit perplexed on why it creates a blue-black zombie rogue when it's in mono-black. That's for another time. It's obvious what this deck is trying to do. Target opponents, raise hell with a huge board state filled with juiced-up zombies, and swing in for the win. At best, you can have 8 2/2 zombies in a full turn cycle, which is simple to do with cards like Altar of Dementia and Yawgmoth, Thran Physician. Altar of Dementia is a free sack outlet that mills the player to trigger a crime and create 2 zombies. Yawgmoth is another free sack outlet that lets you target creatures and draw cards. Talking about sacking creatures, Blood Artist slowly sucks away our opponent's life and gains you on life for every creature that dies, while Ayara, First of Lockwain, drains your opponents for 1 life and gains you 1 life for every black creature that enters the battlefield. Juice the zombies up with cards like Lord of the Accursed and Coat of Arms. Lord of the Accursed gives your zombies a +1/+1 boost and can give them menace. Coat of Arms is a game-ending card with the right amount of zombies on the field. Be watchful for Jissa. She can get out of hand faster than anticipated. In at number 6 is Zakul the Unrepentant. Black, black, red, red for a 5/5 Scorpion Dragon Rogue with flying and trample. Sacrifice 3 other creatures. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery and only once each turn. It has solid stats, exactly what you'd expect from a dragon in this color. Sacrificing 3 creatures is a simple task with cards like Hordeling Outburst and Song of the Totentaz. They can create the 3 creatures needed to sack on the spot. Other token generators such as Bitter Blossom and Lord Skitter, Sewer King, can consistently generate tokens to sack. Now, when it comes to cheating out gargantuan creatures, you can either cause destruction by sacking a deck with Eldrazi spells and a Blightsteel, or you can generate value with cards being Ancient Brass Dragon or Vilas Broker of Blood. Mix and match however you please, just don't forget to add Sneak Attack and Quicksilver Amulet as a backup. Being limited to sorcery speed and only once per turn prevents this card from being higher on the list. It's still a powerful card though, and a good 6th place finish. 5th place finish goes to Marchesa, Dealer of Death. A 3-drop, blue, black, red, 3/4 human rogue. Whenever you commit a crime, you may pay 1. If you do, look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. The kill spells replace themselves, and cards such as Withered Wretch can add tremendous value. Chances are you'll be killing several creatures and likely looting creatures from your hand to the graveyard, so adding reanimation strategies are powerful includes. Marchesa is low to the ground with powerful colors at her disposal, making her a fierce commander. Yeah, Marchesa, you get it, girl. Locking 4th place is Roxan Starfall Savant, a 5-drop, 3 colorless red-green, 4/3 cat druid. Whenever Roxan Starfall Savant enters the battlefield or attacks, create a tapped colorless artifact token named Meteorite with. When Meteorite enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target. And tap, add 1 mana of any color. Whenever you tap an artifact token for mana, add 1 mana of any type that artifact token produced. It's slightly high in its mana cost, but having green in its identity, the mana cost shouldn't be a hindrance. The ability to create tokens is perfect for cards like Parallel Lives, which can double these tokens. Adding Panharmonicon can double the ETB triggers. Mass-producing treasure tokens is the ideal route to take Roxanne, so cards such as Professional Facebreaker that can create a token every turn provide small value, but cards like Dockside and Old Gnawbone will take this deck to heights beyond belief. They can potentially set up game-winning plays. With all the extra mana, you can use them to cast big boy creatures like Itali or Blightsteel, or you can finish everyone off with X spells like Jaya's Emulating Inferno and Crackle with Power. Overall, this deck can explode from one turn to the next. Another general to keep a watchful eye on. Coming in at number 3 is Gitrog, Mirror of the Wilds, a 3-drop, red, green, white, 3/3 human shaman with haste. Non-token creatures you control have tap, create a token that's a copy of target token you control that entered the battlefield this turn. The goal of the deck is to have multiple low CMC creatures that provide value such as Esper Sentinel, Delighted Halfling, and Birds of Paradise. Once that part is set up, you add creatures that generate tokens such as Fable of the Mirror Breaker that can give you a leg up because it can create a treasure with this first mode and create a copy of a non-legendary creature you control, which can set things off with the right field. A similar card is Kiki Jiki Mirror Breaker. It costs an extra mana, but it can create that token needed to start the mayhem. There is an infinite combo you can utilize with Midnight Guard. You can create infinite tokens and finish it off with an infinite burn with cards such as Terror of the Peaks. There are several cards that have this ETA burn effect on them. Gitrog, congratulations on your 3rd place finish. 2nd place finish goes to the Gitrog Ravenous Ride, a 5-drop, 3 colorless, black-green, 6/5 frog horror mount with trample and haste. Whenever the Gitrog Ravenous Ride deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice a creature that saddled it this turn. If you do, draw X cards, then put X land cards from your hand onto the battlefield tapped, where X is the sacrifice creature's power. Saddle 1. Another 5-drop commander in green, meaning it's relatively easy to cast this guy. Having trample and haste makes this guy a very sneaky commander. The goal of the deck is to have creatures with high power and maybe low mana costs like Pupine Prototype and Yargo and Mulani. It just needs to deal 1 damage to trigger its effect. 1 resolve trigger with the right creatures to sack should be enough to give you a commanding lead in the game. Well-deserved spot in 2nd place. Finally, taking 1st place Obca Splitter of Seconds. A 4-drop, colorless blue-black-red, 2/5, Ogre Warlock with Menace. Whenever Obca Splitter of Seconds deals combat damage to a player, you get that many additional upkeep steps after this phase. There are dozens of powerful upkeep triggers you can take advantage of. The most powerful cards I believe are non-negotiables are Twilight Prophet, Court of Ambition, Court of Embereth, and Court of Ire. You get great value and you chip away at your opponent's life at an alarming rate. This deck requires cards that grant Obca some sort of evasion, like Winged Boots and Access Tunnel. We can boost Obca's power with Ring of Valkus. This gives her haste and increases her attack power for each upkeep. The key card in this deck is Hatred. Pay X life, target creature gains +X/+0. Perfect card to play right before damage is dealt. If any of the upkeep trigger cards I mentioned earlier are on the field when this hits, chances are you will win that game that round. Obca's engine is easy to set up and can deal lethal damage to all opponents at once. Do not take this deck lightly or you will pay the ultimate price. Obca, congratulations on your first place finish. And that brings us to the end of the episode. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comments below, whether you agree or don't agree with the top 10. Did I miss somebody? Let me know, share your thoughts, and as always, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Thanks for watching.